So Danny, a 5-0 win. What were your thoughts on the game initially?
I thought it wasn't a very good spectacle, so to speak. I think the first half was probably the poorest we've played in a long time. Obviously Sholing had come to disrupt our play and put their bodies on the line, and I thought they did that very well. But regardless of what they did, I said to the boys before, it's about how we approach it, how we play. And I was a bit angry to be fair at half time with the level of performance, but they are young lads, they're learning. And made it clear at half time that sometimes you have days like that where 7 or 8 of you in the first half of games just aren't at the races, and 7 or 8 of them weren't, which I'm sure they would admit. And when you have that, you've got to make sure that you get something out of the game, i.e. a win. Whereas our Saturday mornings, obviously there's a league, we want to win games, it's about development. This is the development of a different kind, the Youth Cup. All teams all over the country, all different levels, are all trying to teach their players how to win at 16, 17 years of age. And with a lot of our 16-year-olds, you know, academy football, it's not easy, it's not nice, I wouldn't say that, nicey nice, but you know, the focus isn't on the result, where in the Youth Cup it is. So I made the point, you haven't played well, we're not coming in there later on not winning this game. And to be fair to them, I think we've been playing for another 10 minutes, probably 7 or 8, maybe 9. But it wasn't, the fitness came through, our quality shone through in the end. But all round it, as I say, it wasn't a great spectacle, but job done on the result front. Again,
it was a sort of a professional display from the boys, especially in defensive terms. You haven't conceded yet in the cup, so again today was a great defensive display.
Yes, it was all right. I think we nearly gifted a one at 2-0, which would have made things interesting, and you can't do that. And with all due respect, you do that at West Brom and they probably punish you. So I was talking to Pete and the other staff in there, saying in a weird way, it's quite nice you have these games, because it's a little bit of a rocket or a kick up the backside before you go to West Brom, or before we play Wimbledon Saturday in the league, more importantly. And that's going to happen to lads. You know, they're not first teamers yet, they're not there yet. They're going to have bad nights at the office. And tonight can't be a bad night at the office, because we've gone on 1-5-0, gone through to the third round of the FA Youth Cup. But performance-wise, I want to kick these boys on, I want to give them careers, and sometimes you just got to let them know when they just got to do a little bit more.
The boys are in quite good form recently and scoring a lot of goals. Must be pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've lost for a couple of months, and scoring goals for fun. We're doing loads of finishing in training, and knowing how we want to play, and we're singing off the same page. And I think what's good about that is when you're getting that momentum, is that you can have an offish night performance-wise and still go and batter a team. So that's pleasing. But you know, my long-term aim is to make sure the performance and the result is both there. But the worst ways, you get in the result, and for us to not play particularly fantastic and win 5 regardless of the opposition is a credit to them.
There was an incentive going into the game, obviously the next tie against West Bromwich Albion. How do you think the boys reacted to that?
I think that they were saying probably in their sort of pre-match build-up, in terms of how they are, their characters and personalities. You always get the quiet ones, always get the nutcases. You know, whoever we're playing next round, I'd like to think they sort of approach this game with the same mentality as they have at Tower Hamlets back God knows how long ago. So I don't think it was too much in their minds. I'm sure it is now. I'm sure they look forward to it. I think it's good about having West Bromers. I think they're one of the few Premier League teams to play at their stadium, you know, which is nice. It's a lovely stadium, as is this, but you know, that's a Premier League stadium, and it's going to be nice where the previous 4 or 5 games we've had in this competition, we've been the favourites and had to deal with the pressure, which I think the boys have dealt with brilliantly. And now West Brom are have the pressure, so we can go there with a little bit less pressure potentially from the outside, but we're certainly not going up there for a nice night at the Hawthorns.
I know you've rotated your team quite a bit in the last few weeks, so picking an 11 to play at West Brom must be a really, really tough task. Very tough, yeah, it was tough.
Like, for example, little Jaden Phillips tonight, the lad who had to come on, scored 2 goals. He scored 2 Saturday in the league game at Southend. So I had a good chat with him, explained me reasons, and he's only a young first year. Alfie Fleming's played nearly every game in this competition at left back, didn't play tonight. Understands that he's only a young first year. They've got a long way ahead of them, the first years. The second years, okay, they're on the home straight, so to speak, so they've got to churn out regular performances to earn contracts. But you know, it's not a massive youth team. I think we've only got 13, 14 signed players, and a couple of 16s we tend to play up sometimes, the better ones. So it's not a massive pool to choose from, but the 13 or 14 we've got are giving it their all, and they're 14 excellent players who I certainly wouldn't swap for anyone. So going into the West Brom game, from here till now, you know, they've got to try and get themselves in the team. But you know, from here till Saturday they've got to try and get themselves in the team against Wimbledon.
Obviously the West Brom game may be a few weeks away, but do you think the boys can carry the momentum of the last few weeks into the Cup? And
yeah, I hope so. I hope so they can carry it into Saturday. We're on a good run in the league as well. I think that the first years are really finding their feet now against the bigger, stronger boys, banging on about all season in the other teams. And the second years are certainly on their own and doing more. We've got Big Mason back from injury. We're looking to get lads out on loan now to get them used to men's physical football, which they're dealing with really well by all accounts. So yeah, I mean, the momentum's a big thing. It's still about developing, it's still about improving them. And as much as tonight I was a little bit, oh, okay, well, that's not good enough as a performance first half, they showed a bit of character. You know, they were ruthless in front of goal, we didn't concede, our clearances were big, we put in tackles. So the ugly side of it, which you can't really coach on a whiteboard or a tactics board, they did well. Footballing wise, yeah, it was a night where they needed maybe a little kick up the backside.